Hi, I'm Kimberly. Welcome to As I've Seen It. In the first video I made, I gave you a list of all the things that I tend to read in one day because I am a true news lover and news nerd. These are the things I read every day. On the rare occasions when I need to find more information about an event that involves celebrities, I tend to go to two sites, either tmz.com or, believe it or not, the Daily Mail. I don't know what kind of budget TMZ has, but they seem to always have people on the ground when celebrities have done something or something's happened to them, and they can get their hands on a police report, on a coroner's report, on a you name it report faster than anybody I have seen. The Daily Mail is where I go when the big news sites say they have a suspect in custody, but they're not releasing the names. Because for some reason, the Daily Mail will have a name, a picture of the suspect's parents, their neighbors, their children, the school they attended, and will have interviewed everybody that person has ever met before sites like The Guardian, the New York Times, the Washington Post have even released a name. Because when it comes to other kinds of news, political news, etc., I don't trust them. And here's one example of why. Back in February of this year, Donald Trump got into a spat with the Pope, of all people. Pope Francis said something along the lines of, "That doesn't sound very Christian to me," when someone said to him that Trump wanted to build a wall between the US and Mexico. And there were a lot of people on the internet who jumped in and said, "But the Pope is a hypocrite. There's a wall around Vatican City. There's a wall around..." So two of the sites that jumped on that bandwagon were TMZ and the Daily Mail. Well, guess what? You got that one so wrong. The heart of Vatican City is St. Peter's Basilica, big, gorgeous St. Peter's Basilica. There are great big private gardens behind that. There's, of course, the Vatican Museum with treasures, that no one could even begin to value. So around the back of the Vatican, yeah, there's a mighty high medieval wall because, armies used to attack the Pope. What none of these people bothered to find out, and a phone call to Rome or, a quick internet search would have done it. This is what the front of the Vatican looks like. It's open to all. There's no wall. There's no wall. So the people who showed this image with the white line going all the way around Vatican City, they filled in the part at the front because there's no wall. See that big thing in the middle? That's a road. And that road leads straight into Vatican City. No wall, no gate, no fence, no border control, no nothing. So for two news sites, or two sites that consider themselves news and or celebrity sites, to get that one wrong, that was a big deal. So the things that come across my main news page are usually big celebrity news, like celebrity deaths. I'm still upset that I didn't get to meet Prince before he died, and that's not a celebrity thing, that's a musician thing. So unless there's a celebrity who's an activist doing something great, unless there's something that involves injustice, I don't care. So what caught my attention this week was a story about one of the most famous women on the planet. And it caught my attention because she was robbed at gunpoint, and she was robbed in a place where I wouldn't expect her to be robbed. And then what really blew my mind was all of the negative feedback. When the story was announced that she was robbed at gunpoint in Paris, I went, that doesn't happen in Paris. And I can say that because I lived there for more than a year. I really came down hard on Paris and France in one of my earlier videos because of the burkini ban. But the one thing I can tell you about France is that violent crime is rare. Most of the news my fellow Americans have seen about France and about Paris has been terrorism news. Charlie Hebdo, November 2015, hundreds dead or injured, the attack in Nice. Violent crime is rare in France. It happens so much less often than it does in the United States. Pickpockets are plentiful in France. A couple of years ago, the staff at the world-famous Louvre Museum went on strike because they said, "We've become the target of pickpockets. Can you do something about that?" When I'm running around in Paris, I don't worry about my personal safety. I know I can walk through the streets of Paris at any hour, day or night. That's how safe Paris is. And there are those who say, oh, well, why wasn't she in a more secure location? That is secure in Paris. Locked building, locked apartment, you should be fine. It's Paris. So I was shocked that the crime itself happened. And then one of the first groups to start tweeting out negative things was the NRA. Remember Orlando, earlier this summer, biggest mass shooting in American history. Kim Kardashian, exercising her First Amendment rights, spoke out and said, we need gun control. She went out on a limb and expressed a political sentiment, something a lot of celebrities don't have the courage to do. What did the NRA tweet after she'd been robbed? They mocked her. They were like, oh, she got robbed at gunpoint. How did that happen? Paris doesn't have guns. When the press called them on it, they tried to say, oh, no, we weren't mocking. We were just being, we were showing concern. No, you were mocking and you were being nasty about it. A woman was robbed at gunpoint. Reporters who were there in Paris for Fashion Week, as was Kim Kardashian West, were saying, we don't believe it. She didn't get robbed. This is a publicity stunt. This woman is one of the reasons you people get paid. You report on people like her, and your first response is to say something snarky and nasty. Then there were those who said, well, she was coming from a big high-profile party. Maybe she was drunk. One of the things I learned about Kim Kardashian this week is that she doesn't drink. What did the Paris police spokesperson say? Well, she brought this on herself by posting Instagram photos of her jewelry. Excuse me, how many people on Instagram are showing their bling? Why is she the one who deserves to be robbed for showing her bling? See, all of this is very disturbing to me because it brings to mind rape culture. When a woman is raped, there are too many people who say immediately, oh, she's lying. Then there are those who say, well, what was she wearing? What was she doing in that part of town? Was she drunk? Had she been drinking? Who else have you had sex with? And I saw much of the same thing this week over this robbery. Why was she in a place that didn't have more security? Why was she showing off on the internet? Why was she showing people her bling? Why was she? No, she's the victim here. She didn't commit a robbery. So this whole culture of, she deserved it. Why? Would they say that about any other famous woman? Or is it because this particular woman first came to public notice because of a sex tape? Is it because every few months she tends to break the internet by posting a selfie? Why do they blame her? I don't get it. Thanks for watching.